After centuries under the Galactic Council's rule, humanity has quietly endured every demand. They complied with restrictive trade laws, accepted economic sanctions, and ceded territories the Council claimed were necessary for maintaining galactic peace. To the Council, Earth was merely another young civilization that required guidance, a resource to be managed. Each year brought new regulations, tighter controls, and higher taxes on Earth's economy, yet Earth's leaders never retaliated, never questioned the Council's motives, at least not outwardly. The Council, accustomed to this compliance, never expected a change. For too long they assumed humanity would accept whatever terms were dictated. But they were wrong. Behind the scenes, resentment grew among Earth's citizens, a simmering frustration that no Council member understood. After years of absorbing blow after blow, humanity finally reached a tipping point. The Council's latest demand was different, more invasive, aiming to claim yet another key sector of Earth's already strained resources. This was the final straw. There were no more words left to give, no justifications left that could soften the bitter pill. The Council kept pushing. During a meeting in the Grand Council chamber, Earth's lead diplomat finally responded with a line that would be remembered for centuries. "This will be our last conversation." The Council members blinked, unsure if they had heard correctly. It was just 6 words, yet those 6 words shattered the atmosphere in the room. No one in the Council's long history had ever dared to make such a statement. After all, what civilization could stand alone against the Council's collective power? Silence fell, a quiet panic starting to creep into the eyes of even the most seasoned Council members. When humanity's representative left without the usual bows or courtesies, murmurs erupted among the Council. "Are they serious?" one whispered, disbelief coloring his voice. "Who do they think they are?" others muttered, incredulous. But beneath the Council's bluster, a faint but unmistakable trace of fear took root. Earth was behaving in a way they had never anticipated, and with unsettling calmness. After a quick, tense discussion, the Council decided this was merely posturing, a way for Earth to negotiate better terms. They would demand a formal response by the following standard cycle, expecting humanity to come to its senses. But as the Council awaited Earth's answer, something strange began to happen. Unexplained signals appeared on the borders of Council-controlled sectors, monitored by those who knew the galaxy's traffic patterns intimately. Fleets were shifting, arranging in patterns that seemed oddly organized, as if they were silently preparing for an action. Yet there were no transmissions, no announcements, just silent, precise, and deliberate movements. Every signal originated from sectors close to Earth's borders, and every ship carried an insignia long whispered about but never confirmed. The Iron Armada. The term alone sparked unease. It was a name tossed around in hidden reports within the Council's intelligence divisions. Some claimed it was a myth, a remnant of ancient Terran propaganda, a fleet built to prevent alien intrusion. Yet those who had studied human history knew better. Humanity had always harbored an uncanny ability to unite under pressure, to create something larger than themselves when their backs were to the wall. And now that hidden strength was emerging. Members of the Council began to speak in hushed voices behind closed doors. Could it be possible? Could humanity really have constructed an autonomous fleet, lying dormant until now? The thought was absurd, laughable, yet they could not dismiss the cold, hard data from their surveillance networks. In the shadowed corners of Council meetings, tension thickened. What was humanity planning? If the Iron Armada was real, what purpose did it serve? Some believed it to be a defensive bluff, a scare tactic aimed at making the Council back down. Others, more seasoned and perceptive, saw something far more disturbing. Attempts were made to re-establish communication, but Earth had gone silent. Diplomatic channels, usually teeming with the hustle of trade and discussions, were eerily empty. They couldn't ignore the unspoken message in humanity's silence. Earth was prepared to go without the Council's influence, prepared to handle its affairs without the galaxy's imposed oversight. With the Iron Armada's quiet mobilization, humanity's intention became unmistakably clear. They were not seeking more but would no longer tolerate interference. The Council members debated furiously, trying to determine the next step. A faction within the Council, led by those who had always viewed humanity as a nuisance, argued for a show of force. They called for warships to be positioned as a warning, for strategic embargo, as to cut off Earth's resources. But other, more cautious voices argued against this aggression. Humanity's history was filled with defiance. If they pushed too hard, would it awaken a response none of them could control? In the end, the Council agreed on a middle path, deciding to observe and understand if this was truly an act of defiance or simply a bid for more favorable terms. As days turned into weeks, the Council watched anxiously, scanning for any sign that Earth might break the silence, hoping for some indication that humanity was reconsidering. Yet the silence continued, a heavy reminder of humanity's resolve. The Iron Armada, stationed at strategic points, made no overt threats, yet every tactical advisor knew exactly what it implied. Earth was under protection, and any incursion would be met with immediate and overwhelming force. As the Council's intelligence analyzed the Armada's formations, they noticed something chilling. The positions chosen by humanity were not random but rather meticulously calculated. Each ship was placed with precision, creating a network that would make any attack costly, if not outright impossible to succeed without massive casualties. A quiet, terrible realization swept through the Council. Humanity had planned for this possibility long ago. They had prepared for a scenario in which they would stand alone, and they had armed themselves accordingly. For the first time in its long history, the Council felt the kind of fear they had only ever inflicted on others. These were not the actions of a species bluffing its way through a dangerous standoff. This was the calm, steady determination of a civilization that knew it could endure whatever consequences arose. Humanity was not asking for conflict, but they were unmistakably ready for it. And in that readiness, the Council saw a mirror reflecting back their own history of conquest and control. As they observed the Iron Armada's silent vigil, a new dread began to settle over the Council members. Humanity had shown no anger, no aggression, only a refusal to submit. That refusal spoke louder than any words, louder than any act of rebellion. It was a statement of unbreakable resolve, a warning written in silence. The Council's power, once unchallenged and unyielding, now felt fragile, as if it were teetering on the edge of something far greater, far more dangerous than anything they had faced before. In the following days, a whisper began circulating among the Council chambers, growing louder with each passing hour. Earth was done negotiating. As Earth maintained its eerie silence, the Council's sense of control continued to unravel. The signals from the Iron Armada persisted, with each silent movement adding to the mounting tension. Fleets of sleek, dark vessels emerged on long-range sensors, moving with purpose yet making no contact. From a distance, the Armada's formations appeared almost ceremonial, as if humanity was showcasing its resolve without the need for words. But this silent display carried a hidden weight, an unmistakable message. Earth was prepared for the Council's reaction, whatever that may be. The Council's intelligence team scrambled to piece together any information on the Iron Armada. They sifted through long-forgotten data, rumors buried in intelligence reports, and even whispers passed down through diplomatic channels. They uncovered old myths, tales of humanity's ability to rally under impossible odds, of hidden technologies developed in secret, and of ancient Terran tactics designed for defense in dire circumstances. But these reports were speculative, filled with unconfirmed details. They described a powerful fleet, perhaps even autonomous, a last line of defense that would only emerge when Earth faced an existential threat. Still, no one within the Council had ever believed such a force truly existed. Now faced with the dark reality, doubt began to turn to fear. The Council's internal discussions became a storm of paranoia and uncertainty. Factions formed quickly, each with its own theory on how to address the Iron Armada's movements. Some Council members insisted it was all an elaborate bluff. Earth had no real intention of starting a war, they argued. Humanity was simply trying to pressure the Council into backing down. A larger, more cautious faction warned against underestimating humanity. They reminded the Assembly of Earth's history, how humans had fought for survival even against overwhelming odds and emerged stronger. Earth, they argued, was not posturing but preparing to stand alone if necessary. The Council's high command attempted to resolve the debate with intelligence reports, hoping to demystify the Iron Armada's presence. But even the most advanced Council scanners and monitoring systems could not fully analyze the fleet. Each ship seemed to carry advanced shielding technology and weaponry unlike anything the Council had seen before. Earth had achieved more militaristic advancement in silence than the Council had anticipated. And now every passing moment revealed humanity's preparedness. The Council could no longer deny that it faced a potential adversary, one that was both capable and entirely unafraid. The Council's fear only grew as the Armada established defensive perimeters along the border of Council territories. A silent boundary was drawn, clearly delineating where Earth's forces would not allow interference. Still, the humans remained silent, refusing to respond to any summons or diplomatic overtures. Every attempted communication was met with a wall of silence, a continuation of the single phrase Earth had left them with. "This will be our last conversation." The statement now loomed over every discussion, a reminder that Earth's quiet resolve was not just a tactic but a final decision. As tensions rose, the Council found itself paralyzed. The Iron Armada's presence had shifted the balance of power, turning a once subjugated planet into a silent force that refused to be ignored. In that silence, the Council saw the weight of Earth's words, a stark declaration that humanity had nothing left to say and everything to defend. The Council's control, once unassailable, had shattered, and for the first time they found themselves at the mercy of humanity's unwavering silence.